I'm Rebecca.
I'm Caitlin.
I'm Nessa.
This is the Family Show! Howdy folks, welcome back to my top 100 games of all time. I'm Hunter, and here with the expert commentation, my cleric to my warrior,
Huh.
Rebecca.
Hi.
Today we are looking at my 80 to 71. Let's take a look.
Oh, I saw it.
We always gotta look at the stats. Here we go. So here we got this set of 10. This set of 10. 2 new games. Not as cool as the last list where they had 4, but yet 2. 6 games that went down, but 2. 2 games that went up.
What?
Yeah. And if you've been watching along at home, I have 5 games I do not own on my list. 2 of them are in this set of 10.
So you're almost done then.
Yep, 1 more after these. And the game with the biggest drop and at least 1 cheat.
What?
There is a lot going on in this list. It's exciting.
I can't wait to see what all is going on here.
Let's get right to it.
Shall we?
We'll start off with my number 80, which Rebecca affectionately calls Gugong, as in Gugon, or Gugong, I guess.
It's Gugong. I call it Gugong because that's a cleaning solution.
Gugong is an awesome game. So, this game, in some ways, reminds me of Trajan, if you played Trajan.
Yes.
Because it's got all these little mini games going on. It's like there's all over the board, like little sections. There's a little river, there's a mini game down here, little mini games over here, little mini game up here, all kinds of mini games. So what you're doing is you're going to all these various places and you're giving gifts to influence areas because bribery is illegal, but giving gifts is just fine.
Is that so?
And while this is all going on, you're climbing up the little area to the leader guy. I don't remember what he is. Emperor, maybe? And if you're not up there hanging out with him, you can't win the game. So there is a lot going on in this game.
It's true.
But it's mostly hand manipulation because you have those gifts that are various values. Some are better than others. So you got to decide when to play a good gift and maybe keep a good gift for later or play a bad gift to get a good gift. And so when you go to a spot, you swap out cards with what's already there. So it's a lot of
Gift giving.
Puzzly gift givingness.
It's like deciding whether you're going to be a good gift giver or that crummy gift giver.
Sometimes you got to give a crummy gift to get a good gift in return.
And that makes no sense.
But anyway, this is a really fun game. It's a Euro game. It's got, like I said, if you like having a lot of choices, a lot of things going on, a lot of different paths to victory, different ways to earn victory points. I'm sure they have some kind of weird name for it. I don't know what the points would be.
Influence.
Oh, yeah,
It's influence.
No, they say VP, so maybe it is victory points.
There you
How
go.
boring. They should have some like emperor points or something. I don't know. Anyway.
This game is good. Don't listen to what he says.
This is a really good game.
I love this.
And
This is new, and it's already this high up.
Yeah,
That's interesting.
And it's that 90-minute sweet spot. You're mid to heavy Euro game. Rebecca likes it more than me, I think. I was surprised to find this out, but it went on the top 10 list. I think it might have been the top 10 of 2018. This was higher up on her list. So, spoilers, I bet it's going to be higher up on our top 100. Maybe. That's my number 80. Is it new? It's new to the list?
It should be.
It is new to the list. It's one of the 2 new games. Because we played this, I believe, at the end of last year after I made my list. So,
yes, we did.
or the first part of this year, even, maybe.
Yes.
Anyway, since I made my list last. So it's new.
Yes.
But not new, because it came out last year.
Yes.
My 80. Gugong.
Yes.
All right. Number 79. So this is one of the games where I laugh at other people's misfortune.
I know what game this is.
There's
then.
several of these games on the list, but this one, I may laugh the most and the hardest at other people's misfortune, but I can laugh at my own misfortune too. When
And
my
you will
ship
have
gets
misfortune.
destroyed in Galaxy Trucker!
Oh, it's so gonna get destroyed too.
Actually, yours gets destroyed a lot more than mine did.
That may be
does.
true. That may be true. I will neither confirm nor deny these allegations.
My biggest quoted line when we play this game is on a wing and a prayer.
Except when your wings get shorn off by
No,
a
that's
meteor.
all. No, one game, all you had left was like a wing and an engine when you came.
Oh, that's right. It was a wing and a prayer, quite literally.
So yeah, so this game is kind of a game of halvesies. There's a lot of games out there where it's halvesies. So you play half the game one way and half the game the other way. So the first half of the game, you're kind of speed building a ship. So you're
Yep, it's
grabbing
really fun.
tiles, you're putting them on a board. You got engines and shields and guns and crew quarters and cargo holds, and you're building the coolest ship you can possibly build as quickly as you can. Then in the second half of the game, your ship blows up. The end.
Basically. That's basically it.
So if you build a really cool and nice ship, your shields will work, and your little guns will work, and you have plenty of cargo and lots of crew. But if you build your ship wrong, or not as well, or you get unlucky with what's happening, parts blow up and fly off, and you get explode, and you die, and your crew dies, and everyone cries.
And you push your cargo out.
Meanwhile, I am laughing a lot, because it is hilarious. Some people despise this game because they don't like their creation getting annihilated. But
I get that.
But I think it's hilarious.
This is the one exception to that, because usually I don't like building up things and seeing it destroyed, but this game... I mean, there's only so much love you can put into a game where you're only spending, like, maybe a minute throwing together a ship. You can't get too attached to it. It's going to blow up. Especially when there's dice involved.
So there's a billion expansions for this game. We only have the base game, because that's fine. We can blow up just fine with just the base game.
Oh boy.
But there's all sorts of weird, like, campaign-style
Really?
weirdness and all sorts of crazy expansions, but we never got them.
Hey, you like this.
We're happy
Go
with the
crazy.
one. We played this ages ago at
West Texas
West
Tabletop
Texas
Con.
Con. So, a kind individual showed us how to play, and I laughed at his misfortune.
And then he turned around and, like, destroyed us.
Yeah, I did pretty well at it. I'm pretty good
You did
at
pretty
this.
well at it, but he still beat you.
Yeah, that's true. He did. But I'm pretty good at this game.
No, you are.
Well,
I, however, am not.
So this is you either love it or hate it kind of game. It's
Sure.
polarizing.
Look at you and those SAT words.
That's my number 79. It was 85 last year, so that's one of the ones that went up. But you got all that in the down bits. You see all the down bits down here. All right. Coming up next is one of the games I do not own. So it's going to be, see if I can get it right this time. It's going to be right there. Down.
You would never do well as a weatherman.
Right? No, I can't. The opposite thing doesn't work for me. It's going to be right here. And that game is, and this is a lot of people's like way high up in their list, but it's not so high up on my list because I am not a fanatic of Star Wars. Therefore, I am not a fanatic about this game as much as most people. And that is Star Wars Rebellion.
Yeah.
So I like
It's
this
a good game.
This is a good game. Rebecca played it, and she actually enjoyed it, and she hates Star Wars.
I don't hate Star Wars. I'm just done with it.
Oh.
Big
She
difference.
hates Star Wars, so...
I don't
but
hate Star Wars. I'm gonna get so many comments now because of you. I don't hate Star Wars.
So story time, and I've heard this story many times. Apparently, when she was younger,
Yes.
she had to watch Star Wars every single day for like 15 years.
No, it was every weekend. It was on
It gets
TV.
worse every time I hear it.
Oh my gosh, it does not.
So she's kind of done with Star Wars, so it's not her favorite theme. But this game is fun because it is a 2 players. You can play 4 players. It's a 2-player game, and one person is the Empire, one person is the Rebellion, and you're fighting each other. And very asymmetrical what you're trying to do. The Rebellion is basically trying to hide
Yeah.
and not die.
Yeah.
And the Empire is trying to find them and
kill
kill them. So, and it's a kind of almost a time thing. There's like a track that comes together, and when it comes together, if the Empire doesn't find you, it's over. If they do find you and destroy you, guess what? You lose. So, it's just a kind of a cat and mouse game, but there's lots of building up forces and attacky bits, and you have all the different main characters, and you use those guys to do different missions and accomplish different things. You can capture guys, you can assassinate guys. You can do all sorts of crazy weirdness. So it's fun. I enjoyed it, but it's not something I want to pull off the shelf all the time. But I do greatly enjoy it. Like I said, she likes it. We don't own it because
We have friends that do.
someone owns it who shall not be named, and whenever we want to play it, we're just asked to play it. So I don't, like I said, this is probably for us. Even though I really like it, it's number 78, and last year it was my 57, so it did drop quite a bit. But I don't think I'd want to play this maybe more than once a year. Once a year, and I'm good with this game.
But the minis and stuff for that are amazing.
Oh yeah, all the Death Stars and
They're really
half-built
cool.
Death Stars and Star Destroyers and other ships I don't know names of because
Don't they have AT?
unlike Rebecca, who despises Star Wars, I am indifferent about Star Wars. I'll watch it or not watch it. I watch all the movies once. I'm good. The first 3 movies I've watched many, many times. Rogue One's pretty good, etc., etc. But I am not like day one. We're going at midnight. You got to be there. It's going to happen. I'm going to buy all the action figures. I'm going to dress up. No, not me. I'm somewhere between her and the guy that goes to Star Wars opening night dressed in like the Palace Guard suit. So I'm somewhere in the middle between those two.
That's a pretty big range. You know that, right? Okay,
Somewhere in the middle of all that, that's where I land.
somewhere in here is a top 10 list. I don't even know.
Star Wars Rebellion, my number 78. I always have to look. You're supposed to tell me these things. That's your job.
Just did.
Back to back. Another game I do not own because I own a game that's very similar
What?
to this game. Not exactly the same game, but I like it less than that other game. Spoilers. I may own it someday, but today is not that day.
What just happened?
And that is Brass Birmingham.
I was about to bust out some Beastie Boys. I don't know why.
Not Brass Monkey. Brass Birmingham. So,
It's
so
been a day.
Brass is a game of building like tracks and delivering goods and doing all sorts of fun stuff. Birmingham has beer.
If that doesn't sell it, I don't know what will.
So basically, it's in a lot of ways, it's Brass Plus. Brass Plus, and I think it's actually, if I recall correctly, it's higher up on the list than the original Brass now.
Really?
Because it's it's Brass Plus. So basically, you're doing a lot of the similar things that you're doing in Brass Lancashire. I probably didn't say that right. That was close.
Lancaster.
The original Brass. But you can create breweries that produces beer and use that beer to, as in quotes, grease the wheels of the economy.
I hear.
So in order to do a transaction, you got to go out drinking.
Hey, buddy.
So Brass Birmingham, I enjoyed the game quite a bit. But we had a really
Interesting gaming experience.
that's a good way to put it. Interesting gaming experience the one time we played it. But I love the game. I think I would love it even more, so I want to play it again. But for now I don't own it, and it lands at 77.
Yeah, I was gonna say 77, but I like Lancashire better. I think that the beer,
Convolutes it.
yeah, it convolutes it. It doesn't add any complexity to it. It just makes it a little more convoluted to try to get basically the same things done.
I can see that. Yeah, but I like the extra complexity. It makes it a little more.
You like the heavier games.
A little
than
more
too.
going on because you can't just do what you want to do unless you got some beer. So
This coming from you, I find highly hysterical. He hates beer.
this is new to the list. I don't own it. It's new to the list because we played it at the Dice Tower Retreat last year, which I believe was in December,
Yes.
which was after I made my list.
Yes.
Therefore, it is new.
Yes.
And again, I want to try it again to decide whether I like it more or less. But for now, it gets pushed down a little bit because of the experience. But it has a lot of potential. It has high hopes. My number 77, Brass Birmingham.
That was the longest intro and outro for a board game I think you've ever done.
Did I get a prize? Did I get a gold star?
No, the opposite. You get like a black hole star.
All right. So, The number 76 is not new to the list. It is the biggest drop of any game that is in my top 100. It dropped 55 places.
This is sad.
And why? Because it is the cheat. If you remember correct, you go back to the intro. I said that no campaign style games will be on my list.
I know what it is now, and it makes me sad.
But this is a campaign style game that you can play as individual scenarios.
Yep.
And I judged this game not on the campaign. I judged on how much I would want to play an individual scenario.
Okay.
And that's why it plummeted down my list.
Okay.
Because
that's fair.
Playing as individual scenario doesn't have near the appeal that the campaign did. Because it's a cool campaign. You do different scenarios. You build up your characters. You get treasure. You get new items. It has a good progression. It has a solid ending. It plays fairly quickly. I recall it's like 6 games. So it's a good length for a campaign. The games play fairly quickly. 30, 45 minutes or so. Hits all the spots. But if I was to pull this out and play an individual scenario, I'd be like, yeah, I think I'll do that. But it's not like, ooh, I'm excited. But it's different. And that is Arcadia Quest.
Aww.
So this is my cheat because it is a campaign game, but it is well designed to play one-off scenarios with.
Oh my gosh, the campaign for this was so much fun.
It was really, really enjoyable.
I'm actually glad we filmed that.
Yeah.
Because it was pretty cool.
It's recorded forever until YouTube dies. And we still have it saved on our hard drive, so have it forever until our hard drive dies. So if YouTube dies, hard drive dies, we'll lose it.
Then we'll be sad.
But Arcadia Quest is a dungeon crawl, kind of, because the dungeon is pre-built with all the monsters pre-there and all the treasure there as well. And you have goals and you have missions and you have things and you kill each other. And it's very, very video game-esque in that if you die, you just respawn at your start point and keep playing. It's great.
It's awesome.
But, like I said, if I was to say, hey, let's just play a one-shot scenario, I'd be like, let's do it. But it's not me like, yeah. But this is a placeholder. A placeholder for Starcadia Quest.
Ooh.
So I suspect
we'll have a new
next
friend
year
on your list.
it will be on my list. But will I keep the campaign rule? Because if I do, it may end up in the same general area again next year.
Or that'd be cheating. Would you even put it on?
It says the same thing. You can play one-offs again.
That's true. This one is one of the few games that you actually can play one-offs, where other legacy games, a lot of times, you're done with the campaign, you've got this completely changed board, and it doesn't work. This doesn't change the board.
Right.
So
that's why I didn't put Charterstone on, because
it totally changes
it's
the
a
board.
completely different game.
It's not going to match.
My appeal to play Charterstone as a one-shot game is like almost nothing. I mean, the game is great. I enjoyed it, but I really don't have any interest in
if we're going to do it again,
one game.
We're going to play the entire campaign
Correct.
again. But
this one I would actually sit down and play. If someone said, hey, let's play Arcadia Quest, I'd be like, okay, let's play it.
Yeah.
But it's Arcadia Quest. Coming soon.
I'm excited.
All right, that's my 76.
Yeah.
Now we're on to my 75.
Woo-woo.
75 is one that went down. It only went down 3 places, so it's holding strong. And it's holding strong because it's an amazing game, but you haven't played this game in... If you say Rebecca time, it'd be last summer. But I think we haven't played this game in like 3 years.
No! I gotta find my phone.
And that is Power Grid.
It may have been a couple years. Which makes me sad because I love this game.
This game's really good, but it's one of those games you kind of gotta get in the right mindset for it.
It does work your brain.
So Power Grid is a mid-heavy Euro, 90-minute-ish game. What does it say? Does it say how long it takes?
2 hours.
90 minutes for 2 players. So in this game, you are a power company, and you're making a power grid. Imagine that. So basically, you're building up different power stations across a map, and you are bidding on power stations. And there's different kinds. There's some that use oil, some that use coal, some that use nuclear energy, some that are clean. What do they call it? Natural? I don't know. Whatever they call it. Basically,
green fuel.
Something.
It was green.
Solar.
Something.
I don't know what it's called. Anyway,
so
this game is balancing your checkbook, the game, because you have to keep track of your money for bidding on power stations. You have to keep track of your money for all the fuel you need to power your power stations. You have to keep track of building new stations. So you got all this money, and when you play, you invariably put it in little piles. I need this much for this. I need this much for that. I need this much for this. So now I got this much to bid on power stations. So it's like Matthew the game, but for some reason, a lot of people who don't like Matthew games seem to like this game. That's so yeah, I love it. It's if you like kind of a logistical, kind of puzzly, balancing your money, and
It's actually really fun.
yeah,
It's just something really like addicting about trying to get as many cities powered up as possible and doling out the money to the right areas, because you have to plan out your entire turn when you do that with your money, because you don't get income in the middle of it. You don't get it until the end. So you got to dole it out, make sure you have enough through every phase.
and you have to estimate. Okay, how much oil is she going to buy?
Yeah,
because it has
because
has
you have to
a
backup
has
plan
an economic system. Like the first few oil is this price, but then they go
Yeah.
up and up and up and more. So you got to think, okay, if Rebecca's going to buy 2 oil, I think, and Joe over there
gotta
is
be
going to
able to
buy
afford it.
4 oil,
Yep.
then I'm going third and buying oil.
Yeah.
Gosh, mine are going to be 5 each, so I need to save 20 money to get 4 oil.
Yeah.
And you got to work that in your head, and you don't want to say that out loud. Because then Rebecca will buy 7 oil just to spite me.
It's true. I will, just to spite you.
But if you like economic games, you like bidding, auctioning type games, if you like heavy-ish Euro games, it's got a lot going on. And it's got an interesting way that you decide who wins. The very last round of the game, however many stations you power, that's your score. So if I power 10 stations, Rebecca powers 11, she wins. There you go.
fun.
That is Power Grid.
Good old Freeman Freeze.
I got the Sam Healy
Uh-oh.
angst on the back. It's upside down. Anyway,
Dope.
that is my number 75, Power Grid. Onward to my 74.
Yes. What do we have now?
74, another economic game, but this is stock market E.
This low? Nuh-uh.
It
Nuh-uh.
dropped from 61 to 74. The only reason it's dropping is I need to be challenged.
It is the...
I need to be challenged when I play games. They just get boring. Just win. Stockpile. Hasn't been played in a while because I always win.
Oh my gosh.
Stockpile is a pure stock market game. You're basically investors into stocks, and you basically have a situation where it's like hidden information, like you have a little information, everyone else has a little information, and then you create portfolios. And some of that is hidden information, some of that is known information. And you're using all that to buy the best portfolio, increase the stock as much as you can, sell high, buy low, and all that sort of goodness. You have superpowers. If you play with the investor superpowers, you have those.
Those are actually really fun.
If you play with the expansion, continuing corruption, it randomizes stuff. So in the normal game, you know that this many stocks are going to go up, this many is going to stay the same, this many is going to give dividends, this many is going to go down. Whereas in the continuing corruption, you roll dice and it randomizes what happens. So more could go up, more could go down, more could give dividends, and that sort of thing. And there you have it.
I think I have 5 pieces of information that are hidden.
And it also adds bonds, which, meh.
Yeah, we're kind of bound this. But the game, I keep getting closer and closer. Like, I was within a few dollars
Maybe that's why
of
we
you
don't
last
play it
time.
anymore.
Yeah, he's afraid because I'm going to beat him next time.
So, if you're looking for a pure stock market game with nothing really else going on, it's all about stocks.
It is, and it's really cool.
And it's fairly light. I mean, I wouldn't call it family weight, but
I enjoy it.
Family plus weight. It plays quick. I want to say, what does it say, 45 minutes? There you go. It's a good one. If you're looking for maybe even an introduction into stock market games,
Yep.
this would be a good one. This and Airlines Europe. But this one I like
Definitely.
more because Airlines Europe has other things going on. This is, like I said, just it focuses in on the stocks.
There you go.
That's it. My 74. It went down a little bit. About that much down to the bits. It's ominous. I wonder, can you hear that thunder?
Probably not.
It's raining out and thundered. It was like ominous. She put the game away. It was like... Anyway.
Yeah, you should be thinking ominous.
My
things.
number 73 went down a lot.
Really?
Went down quite a bit because I'm learning. I am being exposed to more Uwe games. And every time I buy a new Uwe game, it seems like this one just drops a little bit more. This is a lot of people's favorite Uwe. Not my favorite Uwe. Because it's puzzly, it's Tetrisy, it's got 10,000 million choices. It takes 5 hours to set up. And that's why it's dropping. And that is a feast for Odin.
It is a beast.
It is that thick.
Yeah, that's...
So it is a heavy Euro game in more than one way. Viking thickness and difficulty to play.
Viking thickness?
Yeah, I said it's 2 Vikings thick. See? 2 Vikings is the width of the game. On this side, it is 1 Viking. So this guy is, I guess, a little beefier than the other guy.
It's a beefy Viking. What?
All right. So Uwe Rosenberg, it is, there's like, it's worker placement. It's got food. It's got things going on. It's got resources. But it's like it's like if Caverna, Patchwork, I'm trying to think of one, and Reykholt. No, Newsfjord had a baby. Yeah, Feast for Odin. That's meaningless to anyone who isn't a massive Uwe fan.
It's like, that just sounds really ridiculous.
Tons of worker placement.
That's a goofy baby.
I'll explain it. That's 3 people. That's very strange. So, it has worker placement. Tons of worker placement, like in most of his game, but I thought of Caverna. Has tons of resources, like Caverna. It has the Tetrisy putting things on the board, like Patchwork. And it has you have to fill up a banquet table, like you do with the fish in Newsfjord. There you go. But
I'm
Feast for
still
Odin.
getting over the goofy baby thing. But anyway,
Feast for Odin. It's a test tube baby. Feast for Odin. Feast for Odin is probably. I'm just going out on a limb here. Probably one of the most difficult games to teach of all his games.
I can
I've
believe
played.
that. Yes, easily. I can.
There's
totally
so many
believe
different
that.
spots. There's so many different things you can do. There's
Yeah.
so many things to explain. You have to explain how the Tetris works. You can't put this thing next to this thing. You have to got the 300 worker placement spots, and if you put 1 worker, you go here, 2 workers, and 3 workers, and 4 workers. Then there's all the resource things. When you take resources, you get less of some resources. You got the banquet table where you have to put your little food next to. You can't put food next to. You have to put food. See, I don't even remember. You have to put you only put food, and then you have to put like an item. And then food or something. I don't know. You have to fill
2
up
meats can't touch. It was like meat.
Oh, there you go.
And,
See, she remembers.
Yeah, it's meat and the other thing, like
all
grains
these,
or whatever. And,
all these rules.
Yeah.
And then, on top of all that...
You're going to show off this.
Here, let's put this here.
Yeah.
Sorry about the noise. So you got resources, workers, money, more resources. You got the little Tetrisy pieces. You have cards. You have all these resources.
There's 2 trays there.
These are
full.
double-sided. Here's another tray.
Yeah, that's 2
This
trays.
is double-sided as well.
Yeah,
you have
yeah.
all these Tetris boards that you have to fill out.
Double-sided, so that means there's 2 different
All
things
these
per-
Tetris boards. You have more resources, and you have more cards, and you have some other cards here.
It's
and you
chock
got
full.
more boats. You have boats. You can do things with boats. Yeah, I think you get the idea. The rule book.
It's quite a feast. That's why that one Viking's beefy. This is a feast.
You got a
For
whole
Odin.
This is a rule book.
They're eating there too.
And then, if there's something not referenced in the rule book, it has an appendix. Wait, is this the rule book? No, this is the almanac. This is story bits. You can ignore that part. But you have a rule book. You have a rule book, and then you have an appendix to the rule book. The rule book is 23 pages, and the appendix is 16 pages. 24,
Oh, dude, I didn't realize this.
24 and 16. 40 pages of rules.
The little Vikings are actually famous individuals. They've got Leif Erikson and Ingolfur Einarsson.
Say that again?
Ingolfur Einarsson.
He's engulfing what?
He's the founder of Iceland's modern capital of Reykjavik.
I think I've said enough. So if you like heavy Euro games, you like lots of choices, lots of things going on, if you like the patchwork, putting things on a board and filling out things, this might be the game for you. And she gets to put all that back because I'm not going to.
You're so funny.
All right, moving on. Got a game that went up my list because we had a pretty good play of this. I think we actually played multiple games of this during the last year. And this is one of my favorite social deduction games. But I don't think it's a lot of people's favorite, but it's one of my favorite. And that is
Oh, yeah, we did play that multiple times.
The Resistance.
We did play that multiple times.
The Resistance. I think I got first edition Resistance. Mine is like a little
yours is old.
crappy little gray box. Most people have the cool red box with a lady
cool.
on front.
What's wrong with you?
And I don't have the cool guns. I don't have guns.
There's guns?
Yeah, they have little guns, I think, now. I just have little cards. Everything I have it's all cards.
There are no guns in this game.
Yeah, there is. You have a gun. When you go on missions, when you pick the people for the mission, you get guns.
You don't need guns.
So Resistance is a social deduction game. You're basically on teams. You got the good guys and then the not so good guys.
Oh, there's some bad guys and
you're
some other
trying
guys?
to convince people that you're on not a bad guy if you're a bad guy. If you're a good guy, you want to convince everyone that you're a good guy. And basically, you go on missions, you vote for whether the mission succeeds or not. If the bad guys win a certain number of missions, they win. If the good guys win a certain number of missions, they win. And there you go.
That's basically it.
This game almost always has the, I can't believe you lied to me. Or, I was convinced you were a good guy and you weren't. And you hide your head in shame. But anyway, social deduction, pretty straightforward. I wouldn't say it's one of the originals, but it's one of the oldest ones that I know about. I mean, I'm sure the original is probably like Mafia, maybe the original. I don't know. But it's one of the first non-werewolf Mafia. I could be completely making something up. But anyway, it came out in 2010. And that's a long time ago.
Way back in the dinosaurs.
Way back in the dark ages. The Resistance.
La Resistance.
All right. Like I said, that one went up a little bit because we had some good plays of it. All right, coming up next is one. I think this has been on my list. Has it been on my list since the beginning? Let's look. Yes.
I would think so.
It's been all over the map. You can see it in the down bits, but 25, 49, 71, 40, 71 again. 71 twice. Interesting. The reason it's all over the map is because I love it, but it gets mixed reviews from our game group. So it is what it is. But I love it.
Haters gonna hate.
Haters gonna hate. When you play some Wits and Wagers.
Trivia. Yay.
Wits and Wagers.
This game's so much fun.
I love this game. So this is a trivia game where you don't necessarily need to know what the correct answer is. You just need to know who might know the correct answer. Or, as a lot of people do, you play the odds. So the way the game works is you're asked a trivia question with a numerical answer. Everyone secretly writes an answer down. They're revealed. They're placed in order. And then you make bets. Like casino-style bets on which one you think is the right answer. In this box, we have basic Wits and Wagers. We have party Wits and Wagers and Vegas Wits and Wagers. All in the same box. So we have 3 versions of the same game, but they're a little different. But I love this game because it takes the trivia, meshes it with gambling, and how can you go wrong? Gambling trivia, or trivial gambling.
Man, you're just a sinner tonight, man. You're talking about beer, you're talking about gambling,
lying.
Lying. Like, what is going on?
Beefy Vikings.
This is a wicked list.
Wits and Wagers. This is a trivia game for people that may not necessarily like trivia. When they do you get asked a question directly, and you have to answer it yourself. This is not that kind of game. So even if you get a little bonus if you get it closest without going over, but you don't have to know the answer, and you don't have that pressure of being individually asked questions. So it makes it more of a party atmosphere, a more engaging, interactive atmosphere.
Oh, and the answer is always numerical.
And I like that. I said that already.
Did you?
Check the tape.
Hey, I'm rewinding now.
All right. There you go.
Boom.
Wits and Wagers.
Is that your last one for today?
No, because I'm going to ask a trivia question.
What?
You get a bonus. You get a trivia question.
Are we playing versus the internet?
Oh my gosh, this box won't open. Maybe you won't get a trivia
Let's
question.
watch Hunter open a box for 10 minutes.
All right.
How exciting. What
Let's
a
see.
finale.
Let's find the trivia question. We'll just do whatever's on top.
But now you have to.
All right, here we go.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Open her up. Gonna get you a trivia question to end the night. I'm gonna find a good one.
I thought you were saying the one.
Oh, here's a good one. This is a Gamery. One on top was not Gamery. I got a Gamery one.
Okay.
All right, so this is the Associated Press in 2013, so you have to think about way back, because some of our questions are old, and I apparently picked a set of questions that's older. You'll have to deal with it. 2013 Associated Press. What's the highest price ever paid for a comic book?
Ooh. And that's back in 2013.
2013, before, well, the Marvel craze was
No,
kind of...
Marvel was
craze
going
was
strong.
was in full swing at that point. Highest price ever paid. My answer... $999.
See, I was thinking like 5,000.
You say 5,000, I say 999. What do you say?
Write it down.
The answer: $2,160,000.
And this is why we don't collect comic books.
Released in 1938, Action
Oh,
Comics number
okay.
1
That makes
contained the first appearance of Spider-Man.
Okay.
$2 million.
Comic book
160,000.
collectors are serious, man. This is.
I'm in the wrong business. And there you have just played a small portion of Wits and Wagers.
Don't take that as a guess, though, because oh my, that's not representative. Every once in a while, you'll find something you might have a clue about. Maybe you did. Maybe you knew that answer.
I think
You're
there's
like-
only been a couple times where someone got it exactly right.
Yeah.
It's only been a couple of
Oh
times.
yeah, because like one of them once was about
1849.
music, and I knew the answer.
One of them was 1849, Gold Rush. That's super simple.
Yeah, every once in a while there'll be one like that. You're like, oh, I know that. Yeah, the 40. So I've known 2 answers. Yeah. Well, it's hilarious. And then that one time, I remember Mom, we were playing this with the family, and she managed to just randomly guess the exact number of turkeys that people eat in a year or some
it was like,
ridiculousness.
and it was a large number too.
It was a crazy number. We just laughed because we thought it was ridiculous. And she
There
got
you
it
go.
Exactly right. It's fun.
That is
This
my
a good
number
game.
71. The last one for this time around. Wits and Wagers. Wits and Wagers Party. Wits and Wagers Vegas. Take your pick. I prefer Vegas. And that's it, folks. But, as always, preview the next list.
Yes, indeed. It's time.
There we go.
Bring it.
Here we go. My next set of 10 is very similar to this set of 10, with 2 slight variations.
Okay.
The same number of new games, 2. Same number of games that went down, 6. Same number of games that went up, 2. But I only not own one of them.
Ooh.
And as far as I can see, there's no cheat. And there you have it. My next
Sounds
set of 10.
boring compared to this list. This list was wacky.
My lists are never boring.
That's so true. So true. More wackiness in a week.
In a week. No.
In mere days?
In mere days. So from Thursday to Tuesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. 5 days.
Watch Hunter do simple
In
math.
5 days.
5 days. Not quite a week. See you in not quite a week, folks.
Bye.